The industry here is completely exaggerating the issue of fraudulent claims in a way to try and justify the type of premiums that you are charging and the increases that we're seeing in certain sectors.
Can I just pick up on that point in relation to fraud? You make the claim that 20% are fraudulent claims. How many claims do FPD get per month?
Well, we get about 65,000 claims a year.
65,000 claims a year. So you're suggesting that, what, a fifth of those are fraudulent?
Well, I've given it to you on value there, the number, as opposed to on hard count of number, but yes, 20%.
Well, there'll be a correlation between...
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're talking about 15,000 claims are fraudulent. That's why FPD... On the 15,000 figure, so 15,000...
15,000 might be slightly high because the count includes let's say damage, property, windscreen, those type of claims that are probably less fraudulent in.
Let's say 10, being generous to you, given that you said 20%. So 10,000 claims, you think, per annum. How many fraudulent claims do you think FPD get per year? Fraudulent claims. Because the real question is, how many have you reported?
Well, sorry for
Go ahead.
There's a couple of things in it. First of all, the level of proof that we require is beyond reasonable doubt. Is the criminal level of proof to convict for fraud, and pardon?
Do you not have a system where you can report fraudulent claims?
We do, yes.
Who do you report them to?
Report to the Gardaí.
Okay. You don't need a level of proof. It's up to the Gardaí then to investigate. Would that be correct?
That's correct.
How many fraudulent claims have FPD reported to the Gardaí? Because it's definitely not 10,000, let me tell you. It's not 15,000. It's definitely not the 20% figure that you've talked about. So I want to get to real facts here instead of the spin from the industry, because it doesn't add up. Because let me say this, because the questions are going to be asked about all of you who are making these accusations. 19 cases by the entire industry were reported to the Gardaí between October and March. Now, if FBD are telling us that between 10 and 15,000 are fraudulent, and Alliance and AXA will tell us roughly the same, we had the 20% figures and all the rest, it doesn't add up. Or if it does add up, you don't give a damn about it, because you aren't reporting them. So, can I ask you, how many cases of fraudulent activity have FPD reported to the Gardaí?
I can certainly give you
less than 5.
I can certainly give you a few examples.
How many numbers? How many?
I don't have them off the top of my head.
Would it be less than 5?
Less than 5 report to the Gardaí.
Between October and March since last year, October, November, December, January, February, March.
Deputy, we will have to get you the figures.
So if there is such an issue with fraudulent claims, and I'm not suggesting that there is no issue with fraudulent claims, what I'm suggesting is that the industry here is completely exaggerating the issue of fraudulent claims in a way to try and justify the type of premiums that you are charging and the increases that we're seeing in certain sectors. How many have you reported?
Since June 2018, we've reported 48 claimants to the Gardaí.
Since June 2018. So from June 2018, so it's a period of a year. How many claims do you get?
In a year, we get 5,000 injury claims.
5,000 injury claims. So that's what, 1%?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a suspected fraudulent
number of 20% is, as we said, yes, where we have had indicators of potential fraud that we have to investigate further.
Why didn't you report them to Gardaí if you believe that there's potential fraud in them?
Well, the indicators have to investigate and make sure we're not wasting Garda time.
So you investigate
we investigate to a certain level before we pass them.
And then on 19% of the cases, you believe that there's no fraud there, so that the real figure is 1%.
No,
of where there's suspected fraud.
Not totally. So depending on what happens along the way. Some of them don't.
Surely
some of them don't turn into
fraudulent claims, Mr. McGrath.
No, we don't accept fraudulent claims, but some of them don't turn out to be provable or have evidence.
You do not have to prove them. It's not for the industry to prove whether they're fraudulent. It's for the industry to report a crime, a suspected crime, to the Gardaí. Mr. Bradley, fraudulent claims. How many have you reported to the Gardaí?
We've referred 50 files to the Gardaí.
What period?
That's since 2013. And we've had 13 prosecutions with 4 individuals having jail terms.
Okay, so over a 6-year period, you've reported 50 claims, which is about, what, 8 claims per annum. How many claims is being processed?
And injury claims, we get about 5,000 per year.
Okay, so a fraction of a percent is the suspected fraudulent claims within your sector, within your insurance company. Would that be correct?
I suppose that we think there's sufficient proof that it can go to the Gardaí, and there are a lot of claims where we expect. I mentioned to you earlier, about 4% of our claims cost we identify as fraudulent. So it's not the biggest issue by any means. I don't think we're portraying it as the biggest issue, but only a small number are referred to Gardaí where we think there's a realistic potential of being proven and prosecuted.
Should you not, if you believe that a claim is fraudulent, should you not report it to the Gardaí regardless? Like, you've carried out your own internal investigation, you believe that the claim's fraudulent, you're willing to come here before this committee and suggest figures of potential fraudulent claims, but when we actually drill down to out of 5,000 claims per annum, you're only reporting 8.
I'll take that point.
Okay, because this is the issue here. We've listened to quite a while in relation to this issue, and as I said, I know that there's issues in terms of fraudulent claims. I know that there's issues in terms of exaggerated claims, but not at the scale that you are suggesting. And the last 10 minutes have just proven that.